Morning, Gig.
Morning, morning. Congratulations, gentlemen, for Operation Seawolf.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
How are
you.
you?
I know I love these war movies myself. So, you know what? Let's start with you, Stephen. Where the original idea came from for Operation Seawolf?
So the original idea I was kind of tasked with by my producing partner Andre Relis. He said, "Listen, I've got Dolph Lundgren who wants to play a submarine commander. What do you got for me?" And so I mean that was kind of like the premise. Like Dolph wants to play a submarine commander, and so find something that he might like. So luckily I had worked with Dolph in the past, and so I really dug into history, and kind of came up with an outline pretty true to what the final script ended up being, called Operation Seawolf. And we got it over to Dolph, and he read it. And I mean, within, I think, like the next day, Dolph said, yes, I'm in. And so obviously then you start cracking away at the script and the story, and you really dive into the characters and the people. And Dolph was super instrumental in helping kind of craft the narrative of, his character and, kind of how he wanted to see things flow. So it was really special and fun to kind of get to work with such a iconic figure, but also just an industry veteran, and just kind of work with them on developing the script, story, and idea.
Absolutely. Hiram, I want to know why you are attracted to this project, because I feel like I've only seen you in military type of projects.
Well, I mean, there's a reason for that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do other projects as well, but this one was special to me, very special to me, because I myself in real life am a captain in the United States Marine Corps. And the character I play is Captain Samuel L. Gravely Jr. Now, this man was the very first African-American to be commissioned in the United States Navy in real life. He's also the first African-American to be an admiral in the United States Navy. So this man is the shoulders that I stand on, okay? This guy came before. If it wasn't for him, there would be no me. So portraying this guy is like the highest honor I've ever had in my career. So that's what drew me to this role, besides the fact of working with Stephen. And I've worked with him plenty of times, and I love this man like a brother.
Wow, I had no idea, because at first I was thinking, going, oh, this didn't happen. This is entirely
it's real. He's a real man. He's a real man. In fact, the ship that we actually shot all my scenes on is the USS Iowa in San Pedro in Los Angeles. He actually commanded that ship in real life. When we were filming, and I was dressed up, all the people who were there, who maintained the ship and the museum and whatnot, they were all like, oh my gosh, because that's his ship. Even when I pulled up to park in my parking spot that day, his face is right in my parking spot.
Wow. So Stephen, you wrote Hiram's part purposeful into a script like this?
Well, I think, obviously when you are developing your story, and especially when you're trying to base things on true to life history, as I was kind of diving into, Operation Seawolf, which was this very true and end of the war kind of operations that the Germans were having against the Americans at the very tail end. You kind of learn, okay, well, we got to have our boys, the Navy, stop them. So let's figure out what they might have done. And, you learn that they had their own operation. It was called Teardrop, where they were specifically going out to stop these German submarines from their attacks. And as I'm kind of breaking down, the ships that were in that operation, lo and behold, I found one of two African-American kind of all crewed Navy ships were part of that operation and part of that hunt of these submarines. So, and I thought, just what an incredible opportunity to find something in history and have a chance to, hey, here's an opportunity to be able to tell these guys' story and bring it to life, and in a true to life sense, you know, with real purpose and real, you know, a real, you know, it's true to life. So you know, obviously it's fun to kind of find those little nuggets in history and then be able to, you know, showcase them for an audience to see.
Wow. And the concept of having an all black crew, that actually also did happen. I mean, part of myself, you know, not knowing my military history.
No, that really did happen. So there, like Steven said, there were only 2 ships. You know, this ship, the USS PC-1264. PC stands for patrol class. There were submarine chasers, and this exact ship was commanded by Samuel L. Gravely Jr., my character. And so, you know, this is the history, because I know when people watch it, they're like, oh, BS, you know, this is probably woke, or this never happened. But a quick Google search, and lo and behold, oh crap, this really did happen. Oh crap, this really is the ship. Oh crap, this is a real character. So, you know, I think that would be cool when people watch it and they actually, you know, do some research for themselves. They'll walk away saying, oh, this is true, you know? Because I myself, you know, being in the military, I didn't even know this existed until, you know, you do your research for yourself and like, oh, these are the forefathers. This is the guy that came before you, you know?
One of the things that I will also say is I'm a history major from school. And so I spend, you know, when I craft a story, especially if it's based, you know, it's a historic venture, I spend a lot of time, you know, Indiana Jonesing, you know, the real life things that make that could be real about it. And I not that I go overboard, but I find a lot of details that, you know, maybe a normal Google search doesn't necessarily find for some people. So I do try to really, you know, find real things, you know, that happened in history and that are, you know, in a normal set of circumstances, you know, a regular person might say like, no way that was real. And no, you know, it's true to life, the type of history.
2 ships.
Yep.
I'm also impressed that Steven managed to make Indiana Jonesing, you know, into a verb. Steven, tell us about using, I want to say real sets, as Hiram actually mentioned that he was on a real boat. Is a submarine all real, everything? The production?
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, we pretty much everything was shot on real sets. The submarine that we shot on was is a real true to life World War II U.S. submarine called the USS Cod, located in Cleveland, Ohio, and just a fantastic submarine. It's one of a very few that are still left, obviously, in the United States. And the guys over at the COD have just done a fantastic job of keeping it in its very original condition. I mean, everything is kind of down to all the little details about it, how those guys would have had it in World War II are there. And so, you know, fortunately, they allowed us to kind of commandeer their sub and turn it into a German one. And we called it the Das Cod. And they let us have it be a German submarine for, you know, a number of days while we shot there. And yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, submarines, they're so, I mean, yeah, tiny spots. And there'd be times where it's like, listen, we really only have one camera angle to get this scene because we can't get the camera anywhere else to really capture what we need. So yeah, a unique, interesting shooting experience, but also a lot of fun.
I love the authenticity of this production, but for Hiram, you said you were, you know, a captain in the Marine Corps. Tell us about, you know, making that adjustment into the Navy and using that lingo.
It's not hard. After all, the Marine Corps was created in 1775 to protect the Navy. So, you know, and the Marine Corps is a department of the Navy. So it's all one family, one fight, one team. It's easy for me to, as an officer, to maintain that command and control, and that was one of my main focuses in taking on this role. doing honor to the role, honor to the man, and just also doing honor to my veteran community. You know, it was such a privilege to walk in his shoes, you know. So I wanted to do everything by the book, and to represent, like I said, him, his family, you know, the African American people and the veteran community in the highest light I possibly could.
Excellent answer. And one more thing. One of the things that you know, war movies tend to do is to establish, you know, the fine line of villains and heroes. But because you know, Dolph Lundgren being, you know, a captain of a German submarine, that fine line of villains and heroes kind of disappear. Could you guys talk about that? Not saying that us Americans were the villains.
Right. Well, I think it's so important that, and Hiram does a great job of explaining this, because he's actually lived in these shoes. I mean, these men and women that serve in military, I mean, they have a duty to obviously their country, but they also have, you know, and they have an honor to, you know, kind of complete their mission, but also protect the men that are around them. So, I mean, in both sides in a conflict, I mean, you have the same, you know, officers deal with that same issue. You know, how can we complete our missions and protect our men, and also are able to come home? So I really wanted to try to, portray characters in this story that were on both sides of the conflict, that are dealing with the same issues of, you know, trying to survive a war, trying to protect their men, trying to come home. So, and I think those are universal, just themes and truths that, all people can relate and learn and want to, try to, see. So I think it's, in that way, I mean, I just think it's not necessarily about the good guys and the bad guys, who's good, who's bad. I mean, it's about, okay, well, how do these characters, how do these characters make these decisions, and, how do those decisions affect others?
Right. As a military officer, you have two primary goals. It's mission accomplishment and then troop welfare. Okay. And so you see that on both aspects in this film. Okay. You have a mission, you have to accomplish that mission, and then you have to worry about your men. Because if you don't accomplish that mission, the sacrifices that your men make will be all for nothing. So that's what you want the audience to walk away from, is having that understanding from both sides, whether they view him as a villain or not. That's on them. I'm not telling you how to feel. I just want you to walk away with an understanding of the decisions that both his character and my character have to make.
Wow. And one more thing before I go, Hiram,
Yes, sir.
Even though Dolph Lundgren is, here throughout this entire movie of Operation Seawolf, you play an important part too. But because of the fact that you're on the opposite side of the battleground, in the end, did you have a chance to meet him in real life?
Oh yes, I've met Dolph plenty of times. We actually have another project that we're working on together. Come Out Fighting. We're on the same team. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's very respectful. He's very collaborative. And as a cast member and a teammate, you couldn't ask for a better partner.
That is excellent. Anyways, once again, I love these type of war movies, especially the fact that congratulations, Stephen, for making Operation Seawolf look like a big budget movie. I mean, these are the type of movies that we should be watching on the big screen, and so on. So this is terrific, and I'm still amazed that you could find a uniform that fits Dolph Lundgren. So.
Well, thank you so much. The movie comes out in theaters and on demand on October 7th, and then it will be available digitally on October 25th. Yeah, I would super appreciate if people checked it out.
Yes.
Well, thank you for this conversation, and hopefully we get to do this again.
All right. Thanks again.
You.
Take care.